Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Relyks, and today I'm back in Advance Wars. I have been back since October 26th, I believe it has been since then. And well, we're in December now. But this right here, this was my very first Global League match since returning. And the special thing about this one is it's a high funds Global League match. So this is the very first ever high funds match I've ever done on the site, Advance Wars by Web. So, completely different style, completely different from what I've done in the past. And as you guys can see, we have a pretty decently big map. Not much captured. One lab each. This map is called Icebound. Overall, I think it's okay. It's I will say I don't really want to play it again now that I've played it once. I don't like the way it felt throughout the game, but we will see how things go. You guys can see at the very bottom of the screen, I am Cobalt Ice, which is the blue color. That's why I have the little penguin dudes here, right here. Cobalt Ice is one of the unique countries to this game that, in fact, they're the only one that actually has something different than humans. It's the only one with penguins, unless you want to count aliens. I don't know. In any case, so I'm Max. I'm never Max. I hate going against Max, and I'm not very proficient with using Max. So, in general, this is a very different playstyle for me. I don't really use Max. However, I looked at this map, and with the codes I was able to select, I felt like Max was probably one of the better choices here. Personally, I feel like range won't play as huge of a part as I would think. I could be wrong, of course. I'm not exactly a professional, but yeah, so my opponent, he chose Javier, in which he is a specialist against indirect units. Therefore, this is actually a good matchup in my case, because I don't need to build any indirect units, and I'll be fine, because my indirects, A, they lose one range as max, and then 2, I don't even need them. So, this is perfect for me, I guess, in that case. However, I don't like playing Javier's as well, because his regular power, which, by the way, each of our co-powers only costs 3 each. 3 stars for the normal, 3 stars for the super. His power alone is pretty much like a super power, even with only 1 comm tower. It practically makes his units almost invincible. So, overall, this is a really tough matchup for me, because I'm not used to beating Javier's. I usually have like a 50-50 chance. So, I'm using a card I don't know about on my first high funds global match against a guy I always lose against. So we'll see how things go. But yeah, so this map, as you guys can see here, neutral bases in the center. We need to use these infantry to capture. We also have 1 neutral base each, the top and the bottom, and the labs are separated through rivers, shoals, and sea. So as you guys can see here, we can't traverse this sector. If ground units from this base want to go get to the lab, they have to either go around this way through the top and around these bridges, or go around this way where the other bases are and come through the shoals. Or you can use a lander to transport. So that's the tricky thing about this map, and you guys will see that it does come into play. So let us get started here. Let me change the music real quick. Alright, so I'm first player. I hate going first in any situation, but I'm first player most of my global matches, this one included. So I'm just going to start real quick. Obviously, we're just going to start with the capture phase. Nothing special, honestly. So we're going to mirror pretty much each other. And in high funds, you want to definitely get the capture game going as soon as possible, because each property is worth 2,000 funds. So therefore, you want to get as many properties as you can before your opponent does. So that's where, I think codes like Sammy come into play, even in a high funds match. Even though she has weaker units, I think she's sometimes, you know, a really good co because of the fact that even her weakened infantry can still capture properties. But maybe not for this map, obviously. So, we're continuing our capture phases, and, you know, things are going smoothly. You know, nothing super special, nothing exactly, you know, extravagant. However, this, I believe, is when things will start to change. So he's going for his comm tower. This turn, he built an APC, which is quite different. I've never seen Global League players really build APCs before, and a tank at the very bottom. So I was like, APC, okay. Is he going to try and get the airport fast? The thing about the airport is it had the guy send an infantry here, it could reach it in the same amount of turns as it would to capture without going for the city as well. So don't know about this APC being here, but that's the way he went, so good for him. He's going for the comm tower capture. I am not, just because you want to get the cities first, so you can get as much funds as possible. Even capturing it a turn early, you get 2,000 extra funds. Every little bit makes a difference. And going second player for him, I think it would have been worth it if he used that extra infantry to try and capture more as soon as possible. Because the infantry did start at the bottom. Yes, it did start at the bottom. So he should have been using that extra infantry to capture these properties a lot sooner. As you guys can see, this is his turn. He does have that extra infantry here. It is capturing these two cities. I have not even started yet. So that's kind of where the extra infantry is. Again, the infantry he transported from this city, went all the way to the airport. So that's his gain. That's what he wanted. He wanted that airport, which I don't think is a bad move at all, now that I think about it. But, you know, it was an interesting maneuver still. Goes with rocket launcher and more infantry. So now the tank's moved up completely. So now he's guarding this city here. Not that I'm in range. But I will be approaching his territory sooner than later. So my guys continue to move. I built a black boat, by the way. He built the APC and tank. I built black boat and infantry. Now, why did I build a black boat? Well, I figure I need to get these infantry across here and try and capture as soon as possible. Again, my focus is to try and get the capture game over with as soon as possible. And that's what I was going for. So as you guys can see, because that tank's moving in, I decided to move my infantry this way, go for the airport. I also back them up with a couple tanks. He rolls in with his captures, rocket moves up, and of course he's just going to build more infantry. That tank moves all the way up now, so now it's threatening these guys here. Not a big deal, honestly, because I have a tank, and my tanks, as max, are much stronger. He builds another rocket launcher, this time in the very south base. He also built a tank here at the top. So, quite the interesting builds. In high funds, personally, I'm not a big fan of building rocket launchers unless you're forced to be on the defense. But for him, he decided to go with rockets. The reason, I think, is because he wants to zone me out. As you guys can see, I don't have any vehicles out, and so therefore I can't exactly, you know, attack this rocket. And so I think that's a slight blunder on my part, but I think getting the captures as soon as possible was worth it for me. So now I dropped my black boat here. I loaded one infantry the previous turn and then this turn, and I dropped them off here. So now I can send my infantry to capture this city and this port. So I moved both tanks down south to guard against this guy. So even if he wants to attack me, first of all, would be not smart. I have another one to back it up, as well as two more tanks to reinforce as well. So I also built a Neo in the top of the map. This Neo tank I felt like would penetrate his forces fairly easily, and that's why I built it. Getting through the rocket launcher is probably going to be a difficult feat, so I figure I need the movement from a tank and the firepower of a medium tank. So I went with a Neo. Plus, I like Neos. I really don't like building medium tanks. If you guys watched my previous videos before, I just don't like medium tanks. Medium tanks are just too slow and just not strong enough to do stuff. There are certain circumstances though where you just have to build medium tanks, but for the most part, especially in high funds, it's tanks and Neos. At least that's how I feel. So he moved his rocket onto the city, so as you guys can see, it has a pretty big range. It is now zoning out these two cities here. That's not good for me, because that means I can't capture them. If he even moved up another spot, he can stop me from capturing this one too. So that's really bad for me. And there's a tank in the middle. I have absolutely 0 units here to defend against that. So that's pretty bad. Alright, so to finish his turn, he built a Neo tank here as well. He also finished capturing his airport in the top right. Again, he just built infantry. Another thing I want to point out, again, if you guys watch my other videos as well, I like being second player because of the extra infantry. I feel like having that extra infantry provides an extra capture, ahead of time than your opponent does. And that allows you to accumulate more funds quicker than your opponent, especially first player. So that's why I think, me personally, I like to be second player. And I felt like if you calculate, the total here, on his turn, if he has the 84,000 plus the 28, he's going to be already in the 112k. If you add mine up, I only have 108. So already he has an advantage as far as funds. That's a 4k difference. That's just me personally, but that's the way it goes. I can't really explain first turn advantage because I don't believe in it, but I can see in standard it's okay, but in high funds there has to be something different. So in any case, I'm always going to be shorthanded as far as funds, which I don't agree with, but that's just the way it goes. So as you guys can see, I moved my Neo tank up, move this tank from here to guard against the units here, while I continue to do my captures as well. Not to mention I threw one of my tanks here as well to go up. So I have now 2 in the bottom, 2 in the middle. And this turn I built another Neo tank at the top to help plow through his forces, as well as a recon to send down. This tank here, I forego defending this area. If he wants to attack my guy here, he can with a tank. I don't care. I stopped his capture on this port. So if I could prevent him from getting more funds at any given time, that's great for me. So now his turn rolls in. I put my black boat here thinking his rocket maybe will attack me, but it didn't. So now it's in range to attack all of these cities again. So that's not good for me. Neo tank moves up now. Again, I only have 1 Neo in the area, and there's a rocket with a bunch of troops that can get in the way. So that's really bad. He uses the tank, instead of attacking, he uses it and just places it on the city. His rocket launcher is now helping to defend it, so that's not good. Now I really can't get the city, and I can't attack his tank, so it's really bad. His rocket moved up here, as you guys can see. It has a big range. There we go. So, why is that going? Anyways, you guys can see it. So, my tank is out of range, my city is out of range, so he's just mostly defending this capture here. So to finish this turn, he built another Neo tank there and more infantry. So he has a pretty good, I would say he has a decent territory advantage as of right now. We're also equal in units, but not equal in value. So that's a little concerning for my part. I capture my ports. I continue to move my guys in the north to capture cities, as well as moving my Neo tanks up. I am out of capture range, and I am out of this Neo tank's attack range as well. I reinforce the center where my lab is with my infantry and tanks, getting ready to maybe even attack the rocket launcher if I can. Now that I damaged this port here in the south, I actually moved over and attacked this city here. So now there's 2 properties here that he's not going to get for at least another 2-3 turns. All the while, I'm moving my guys around to help continue to capture stuff around him. Again, I build another Neil, a third Neil tank in the very north. I want to get as many strong moving units as I can to fight against this, especially since he only has one base right here. Or, well, he has two bases here, so, but this one is the one that's deploying all the vehicles, so I want to make sure I counter everything he's putting out. And right now you guys can see I'm outnumbering him, but again, territory advantage with this rocket launcher is a big thing. So this turn I also built a battlecopter in the south. So that's my first battlecopter. Air units are very important on this map. Not only can they move around this river here, but they can cross the sea in the middle, and that's going to play a huge part as far as the game itself. It's always in the back of someone's mind if they move one air unit to the other side, because if they don't have an anti-air, there's nothing the opponent can do to defend against them. It would take like 2 to 3 turns just to get anti-air onto the field and in position to defend or attack. So again, he moves his captures. Neo tank hits my infantry. He also builds a bomber, so now he has a Neo tank and a bomber. I can't even defend against that. There's zero. I have no anti-air. So again, I just reinforced that. I said, if you have no anti-air, look, if I built one here, that's 1, 2. That's 2 turns just to get here, in which he's already going to strike me twice within that time. So I'm already kind of screwed over there. He moves his units to defend his rocket launcher as well as defend this Neo tank. That way, even if I attack into it, I will take hits. He also uses the rocket to finish off the infantry, in fact. Had he actually thought about it, he should use the rocket first, because even though I'm only 1 infantry, it has a percentage chance to retaliate damage, so every little percent matters. Again, luck is a huge part of this game, and that's one reason why I hadn't done any videos on Advanced Wars, because I was gone. I was gone for a good while, because I was frustrated with the luck mechanic in the game, and everything was going against me. Yes, I may complain a lot about it, but I feel like it's always against me. My luck in my life is horrible, and it shows in this game, as you know, these games as well. Not just necessarily this one, but in general. So I continue to get as many captures as I can. I got one in the north, and then I continue in the south as well. I forego trying to capture this guy, and I attack his infantry, because it's going to get it on the next turn, if you guys can see in the bottom left corner. If I let it live, it would capture the port. So boom, he dies. Boom, he dies here as well. So I stopped both captures successfully. This tank can't touch me. The rocket launcher's out of range. So that's awesome on me. I prevented him getting captures. I want to try and keep my infantry alive, because right now I'm spamming a lot of vehicles and not a lot of infantry. Because the bases are so far, it would be hard to get more guys out. Battlecopter in the south moves down, as well as my recon. All he has right now is infantry. The anti-air is still a turn away, so I can do some damage if I can get my battlecopter in position. So I move in and attack the tank. I want to get in close, so I do start to launch an attack. I prevent a capture here, so now his rocket has to choose to attack my city guy or do something else. And I'm making a push. I am making a push here. My Neo tanks do move in. I kill one of his Neos. Again, I prevent another capture here in the top. And now I build an anti-air, obviously, to counteract the bomber. And my black boat, I retreated to pick up these guys. Battlecopter, tank, and of course the anti-air in the top. So now I'm spamming a lot of vehicles because I need to get them out there to reinforce. So, you know, if you guys look at the bottom, value-wise, looking decent. I got a 50k-ish lead. But now it's his turn, and as second player, he can retaliate and do more damage. And as second player, you definitely want to be on top no matter what, as far as value. So he moves in, bomber. Of course, I can't defend it. Hits my Neo tank, 8 damage. That sucks. They are equal in value, so to get a free shot like that really hurts. Rocket launcher shoots my other Neo, brings him down to a 4. That sucks. Neo tank moves in, destroys a whole tank. That sucks. So all of a sudden, I'm starting to lose all my units. APC transported in infantry down here, all the way up here. So now his rockets are safe from my Neo tanks, and I can't do anything about it. Continues the captures here in the middle right here next to his lab, as well as moving more infantry in the south. Again, anti-air's moving in. Don't know if my battlecopters will be able to get past it. Then he uses his power at the end of his turn to give himself extra defense. Javier's power triples comm tower effects, and his day-by-day powers is his comm towers give all of his units 10% extra defense. So you times that by 3, that's 30%. So let's say this infantry that's on a city has 30% extra defense. This now has 60% defense against me. So that's pretty strong defensively, and I honestly, that's one reason, again, I said in the beginning of the video, that's why I hate going against Javier, because his powers alone, his regular co-power, not his super, his regular co-power alone is like a super. It makes him practically invincible. Just think if he had 2 comm towers. So, now we're on, what day was this? We're on now day 12. Oh, by the way, if you guys look at his co-power too, oh, darn it, it went all the way back. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go forward. I didn't want it to go back a whole turn. So, just before he uses his power, you guys can see the code meters at the very bottom of the screen. I have my super now. 54k is how much you need. His is also 54k, and he's practically right there at his super. And when he pops his power, he's like literally, I think, a few K under from getting his power again for the next turn. And so when I saw that, I was like, that's messed up. Even with my super, if I try to attack into this, it's not going to work. I was freaking out because after I saw this turn come back against me, I was like, what do I have? What do I have left in the top? I don't have anything. I have a tank that can hit the rockets. Well, what good is that going to do? Look at the damage calculator. So if we take a look, even if I use my tank, even if I use my super, it will only do 5 to 6 damage against that rocket launcher. And then which my tank's just going to die to this Neo on the next turn. I can't get these Neo tanks through to hit the rockets either without destroying this APC or infantry. So is there really any point to doing it? Not sure. I could kill the rocket launcher, but then all 3 of the tanks that attack it will die to Neo, Bomber, Neo tank, including this battlecopter here too. So I really struggle with this turn here. You know, most of the time when you get your superpowers, you want to use it, right? I decide not to use it in the end because there's no point. Even if I were to attack, I would suffer a lot of casualties, and there's really no point to me using it in the first place, especially even in the bottom where my units are still alive. What engagements could I get? Not really anything. There's nothing for me to attack while this infantry wall is here. So I spent a lot of time on the move planner trying to figure out what to do with this. And yeah, so let's move on. I'm going to do my turn. I'm going to captures in the south, in the middle here. So I got 3 properties that turn. You guys can see at the very bottom of the screen, I have 50k to his 40. That's great for me, right? However, I'm losing in value, and it sucks. So I move my guys around, look for more captures. I want to prevent him from getting this capture. I was sad that my infantry did not bring it down even lower, because if we take a look, I think I was hoping, right? So I was hoping, so it does 2 damage automatically. I was hoping that the infantry had suffered a little bit of extra percentage from before, but apparently I just didn't get the luck that I needed, and it didn't do enough. And to prevent it, I used my Neo tank to chip it down even more. So again, I want to cancel these captures, so I end up killing his infantry entirely, or almost entirely. In fact, I think that should have killed it, but it didn't. Okay, no, it actually got luck the first time. So yeah, I actually brought it down to a 1. I use this tank and I attack the rocket launcher. It is one of the biggest threats here in the first place. Not to mention my tank can't do anything else. Did I forego the capture? No, I just moved across. I moved across the port in the middle near his lab and attacked his infantry. Even though he has the extra defensive boost, In my mindset, at this point, I'm losing a lot of ground here with all my units being weak and are probably going to die. I need to go Scorched Earth. If you guys don't know what Scorched Earth means, that means killing all the infantry possible so they can't capture more properties, therefore you can't get more funds. And since I have a capture lead, I'm trying to keep that, that capture lead as long as I can. My tank retreats because there is a tank here. He can easily just move his infantry off to attack and he will have the advantage. So I don't want that happening. But I do move my tanks in a way that will support, and if he does want to move in, I can destroy his tank. Battlecopter gets a free shot. Again, anti-air is still not in range of my battlecopter, so I get a free shot on that infantry regardless that his power is going. I also move my recon in because the only thing that can stop me is the tank, which will be really good for me. So like I said, Scorched Earth. Every little bit of damage I can do to his infantry, I'm taking it. Black Boat moves one infantry down. I wasn't in range with this guy to get in, so I left it at one guy. I had to go. Black Boat's going to come in handy. Again, Black Boats can repair units too, so I definitely needed it. So again, because of the air units are popping out of this airport, I build more anti-air, including one here, just in case I need to send it through the middle. And I also build my own bomber. So you guys can see it's not really going well for me. At the end of my turn, I have 10k left, but I have a 168 value. His turn is going to come around. Even if I were to spend that 10k value, that's 178, he would have a 184k unit value. And this is at the start of his turn. It's a huge disadvantage for me. Huge disadvantage. So, his turn rolls in at the end of day 12. Destroys my Neo tank with his rocket launcher. Neo tank moves in, destroys my tank. Neo destroys an infantry. Battlecopter destroys my Neo. He gets the capture here, as well as attacks into it with his infantry. I'm thinking he thought he can kill it, but he didn't. Rocket moves back as well, because he can sense that my super is still there. And if I get the movement boost, I will attack him and do a lot of damage. Right now, that rocket is the only thing that's really saving him from me attacking him. His infantry move back, form a wall still. Again, now he has this mountain range I have to go around, which is very unfortunate for me. Reinforces the city so he can keep capturing. Yeah, using the infantry, bomber moves in, is going to kill another guy. Another unfortunate loss. And he finishes by building another battlecopter. Again, my anti-airs are still like 2 turns away. His Neo tanks now, look what I have here. Nothing. I have nothing defending my lab. 0 units that can retaliate and defend against a bomber, a Neo tank, and this rocket launcher. I have nothing there to defend myself. It's looking really bad. I was really petrified about this turn. I was like, now you look at the value, take away my 60k from this, or take away 50k from the turn because I got 50k. Even if I add that 10k value, I have a 159 to his 184. That's a 30k difference. And things are looking very bleak. Again, he has his normal power. I still have my first super. When am I going to use it? I'm not going to use it this turn. There's nothing for me to hit. Look, if I use my tanks, can't hit anything. Over here, I can't hit anything. There's no point to using it this turn. So I continue to hold it. Go Scorched Earth, and I try and do as much damage to his infantry as I can. The longer it takes for him to capture things, the better. Same thing at the bottom. I gotta destroy as many infantry as I can, while keeping these anti-air at bay away from my battlecopters, because those air units are going to be very important for me. I get a free shot on this river here. Again, vehicles can't cross the river, so there's nothing to stop him from stop my battlecopter from attacking infantry for free. I'm also threatening his city here as well, moving my tanks in a way to get set to use my super. I can't keep holding it on forever, right? So this turn I was thinking, okay, this is it. I gotta make a push. I have to make it sure it comes right now. His turn rolls in. Again, he has his power. Don't know if he's going to use it or not. You never know. Gets the city at last. Starts another capture there. Battlecopter moves in, finally kills my infantry. Neo Tank finishes off another infantry. Neo Tank finishes off that infantry. So I got 0 units here now. And he has a lot of strong units that I can't even fight against. So now he has a Neo Tank here, and a couple infantry. He finally captured that city, those cities, so he's set to repair and get extra defense as well. Tank takes a shot at my recon at the very bottom. Anti-air's moving in a way to defend his rocket launcher against my air units. And to finish this turn, he builds a mega tank at the very bottom, all while defending the city. So that mega tank is scary as heck. I have nothing except for the bomber that can fight against that thing. I mean, even if I were to use my Neo Tank, for example. Let's say my Neo Tank had the benefit of catching him on a road, just because, and I'm on a plane. Even with my super, I only do 50% damage. His retaliation at 5 HP will do 5 right back at me. That's ridiculous, right? So there's no point for me to attack it. It's one of those units that, could be game changing, game ending in a way. Again, I have no units here. You guys can see how bad this is, alright? As first player, my value is almost, it is actually 20k less. It's 20k less than his. And I have 5 less units. That's really bad. So, again, here we go. Real quick. Here comes the super. The superpower right here. It's now or never, right? This right here, this turn, I spent forever. I'm talking maybe like 15, 20, 25 minutes. I don't even know. I spent a long time trying to figure this one out. What can I do with this super? I have to use it now. Bomber moves in, destroys a tank, 100% damage. Tank moves in, destroys an infantry, 100% damage. My 2 recon that was right here moves all the way in, kills the infantry. Boom. Rocket launcher is now in range. I hit it with a tank, don't kill it. Use a battlecopter, destroy it. That rocket launcher was his saving grace from zoning me out, and now it's gone. And yes, I am sacrificing a battlecopter and tank to his mega and anti-air. Tank moves in, destroys an infantry. Tank moves in, attack his tank. I can do that because I have my super going, so even if he recovers, he can't kill it with the tank. And Black Moat moves in, repairs and supplies. This thing is almost out of fuel, but it is coming handy this entire game. So now, I can move my infantry across, capture his port and his city. He has nothing here that can stop me. Even if he uses his power, I calculated if he uses his power with his anti-air here, it will destroy my bomber. It has like a 98% chance to 100 something, so it will kill it. So I move my tank in and attack the infantry. I am invulnerable to, I can't die. This mega tank can't reach me, and this tank can't kill me even with his superpower. So I move my battlecopters again, moving my infantry, moving in a way that this anti-air can't attack them. Neo Tank moves down all the way. I have 8 movement now. With my super, I get 2 extra movement for all direct units, including air units. So my Neo Tank was able to move from the base all the way over here. That's pretty insane movement. At the top, my anti-air moves in. Free battlecopter kill. Neo Tank moves in. I stop his capture. Anti-air moves in, hits the APC. He's already at max co-power, so I can do as much damage as I want, and he won't get any value out of it. Use this tank, again, Scorched Earth, destroy this infantry. He has no infantry to capture my properties now, except for these guys who are still coming in and are at least 3 to 4 turns away. So I move my units as well. I figure I should move this guy down. If this bomber decides to move down south, that would be very bad for me because I have no anti-air. So I decided to forego going up and instead go down. Especially with the extra 8 movement, I was able to do that. So that was good for me. And if you guys see that? You guys see what I built there? A max battleship. Why Why isn't the value sticking? Okay, well, in any case, I built a max battleship on my turn. What the heck? Where did this come from, right? Like, why would I do that? First of all, Javier has indirect defense. And then his powers prevent me from using any indirect at all. 0% damage if he uses his powers. And yet, I did it anyways. Why? There's a reason why. Because it can actually still do damage. Specifically, I can protect these cities from being captured. All the while I'm building a Neil tank, building more infantry. I admit, I am going to lose the top. But, at the same time, no infantry. I went Scorched Earth. He can't capture these. So I'm just going to put infantry out there as extra units, just cannon fodder. Prevent him from just, mowing over my territory. So he has to, get infantry out there if he wants to do anything about it. So after that turn, you guys can see at the very bottom of the screen, I have a unit count lead, I have a value lead, my capture lead is still up there because I went for captures first, so I'm gaining value this entire time. This entire match, I've been gaining the value ever since I think turn 8 or something. So I played it smart, even though I am losing hard as far as units. That super alone was going to be, seal the deal for me, I think. He uses his superpower. Again, anti-attacks battlecopter. Mega tank destroys tank. Saw that coming a mile away. Tried to use this tank attack it. Didn't work out. But uses his anti-air that he just built. And it does destroy it. Now the Neil tank destroys my tank. I have no defense, so I died. Bomber attacks my tank. Or no, sorry. Rocket launcher, attacked my tank. Bomber attacks my anti-air. Neil tank attacks my other anti-air. So now I came in again. Now I have 0 anti-airs again. There's 1, 2 air units here. He's going to build another one, I'm sure. I can't defend against air units. I'm a sitting duck. Neil tank attacks my battleship. I don't know why he did that. That was a pretty dumb decision. But I guess it was just to make me lose funds when I repair. Again, my only unit here is the Neil tank. If you guys calculate it here, let's just say I'm on the port, right? On my next turn, I don't have my super anymore. I'm only going to do 4 damage, and he's going to do 3 back. So, in a way, it's a good trade for him, I guess. Plus, then I'll block my port from building any more units after that. And then after that, I don't have anything to support. So, I think it was a good move on him to actually do that. He almost killed my Raycon. But then, this guy comes in. Can you believe this? What is this? What is this? 1 to 2% chance. And watch. Poof. Come on. 1 to 2% chance? Really? That's a joke. My bad luck, apparently. But it doesn't really matter. So he moves in. Again, here's the third unit. The third air unit. Bomber. Again, can mow me over all day long. Builds another anti-air in the south. Because I got a lot of air units and only 2 tanks left. And my tanks were just going to die to the tank. Or the mega tank. So, once again, even after both our supers, he gains the unit value and the lead. So, now it's again looking a little bleak. And again, I actually took a while to do this turn as well. But not as much as my super. Battlecopter moves in. Blocks. Can you see it? Destroy. Capture. I'm going for the lab capture. Final push. Neil tank destroys his other infantry. Infantry moves in. He is now forced to attack into these 2 units. My black boat that's been alive since the very beginning and is running out of fuel. Look at it. 16 fuel left. He has to kill this guy first using his Neil tank. His anti-air can't kill these. He can't move in. With the infantry gone here, nothing can traverse this river. I won. And I was like, am I sure? Am I sure I won? Kept doing my turn, moving my units around. Am I sure? Did I really win this match? So I keep moving my units. I also move my bomber up because now I can send it up here to help take out these units. If you take a look, he also doesn't have any anti-air units. So my bomber and my battleship can now do damage. In fact, let me just show you guys real quick. If my battleship were to attack his Neo, it would do some decent damage. It's not like I'm incapable of doing damage, right? So I just finished off building units. And even though by the end of his turn he'll be leading in all categories again, there's nothing he can do. His areas continue to mop up my units in the top. I got nothing else going for me. He tries to make a valiant effort to, get through again. Destroys my stuff. Destroying as much as he can, but it doesn't matter. My turn rolls in. Look at the end score at the bottom. Look at my value versus his unit count. And look at the map. Again, I got nothing up here really. I mean, I got nothing at the south now. Nothing across this river. He's got all the momentum down there because I made a push for this capture. And to finish, captured. And with that, I won. In 16 days, I won. So as you guys can see, I actually lost quite a bit. I killed these units here, 12 infantry, 1 APC, 2 tanks, 1 battlecopter, 1 rocket, 1 neo tank. I lost a lot. Let's see, I did 77k in damage value for these units. He did 162k. He more than doubled me as far as my casualties are worth. That's pretty insane. Like, if you guys watch this from the get-go, you guys will see that I really didn't play this as well as I should have. I don't deny that I probably made a huge amount of mistakes, especially how I handled the very top here. Again, no anti-air defenses, and I just kept sending Neo after Neo tank, regardless that bombers can just come out and equal value destroy me, and I can't do anything about it. So I really screwed up there. I really did. And these rocket launchers, even this one, look, it's still alive. They zoned me out for a long time, but thankfully I was able to get a good handle of things in the south, and that's what won me the game. Is my movement around the south and the way I, attacked him, especially or even in the north, doing scorched earth. I prevented him from capturing my cities, even though I had no units. So I think I did a really good job. I was very patient with my super, obviously, and I was very enthusiastic about how I can, use my units to my advantage with my super, especially new units coming out of the bases. Not that they were able to get much much fight in, but the Neo tank here, being a wall, it definitely helped, because had I not blocked this, look at these units, they could have just went on through and hit me. So I don't know if it looked like it to you guys, like I was going to lose a big game, but to me, I felt like this one was definitely one that I was losing, and I needed to make sure I planned my movements right. And I had just watched a Grandmaster matchup in, from another YouTuber, and it kind of inspired me because they were using Max as well. So it kind of inspired me to wait for the opportune moment with my super. Even though I had it for 3 turns straight, I didn't use it, and I wanted to make sure I had the right turn with the right time to use it, and I think I did just that. So I'm glad I won this one. It was my first ever high funds match. Again, the guy wasn't exactly the best player, but he could have definitely won. Had he noticed that I was capturing this lab, he could easily just build a battleship right here, and I would have lost right away. But he didn't. So in the end, I won because I was able to maneuver that, with a little bit of luck. He didn't notice I was going for the capture, and so I won. Oh man, that was a big if. That was really big. Because if I don't get this lab this turn, I mean, look what he has. Kill. Hits Neo tank. His mega tank is still alive. Nothing. I can't stop him down here. He'll kill all my infantry off. Again, he has infantry now coming in over here. I have no anti-air defenses. Move all his air units. He can go and capture my lab, and I won't be able to stop him. So I think in the end, had I not got this turn, I would have to resign after that. But it's not over until it's over, of course. But it's definitely one of those that I was like, not looking like I could win it. So, but we don't know. We don't know what would have happened. Either way, I feel very proud of this match. Yeah, this video is running a little long, but I just wanted to make sure I get all my points across. I felt really good about this video, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, hit the like button down below, as well as comments. Any comments will actually, I'll take them all. Obviously, a good game to Relyks Bitter Blossom. Yes. So good game to you. Glad you didn't see the capture, but good match. It was really fun. Stressed me out a lot, but I did it, so awesome. And of course, if you guys have not already, please subscribe to the channel. You guys can see more Advance Wars content. I will most likely put out some more videos. At this time, I don't have one in line to show, but I'm pretty sure one will come along eventually. I also have other content as well. We are literally finishing up. Well, actually, I guess by the time this video comes out, my Fire Emblem will be done. Maybe. We'll see. As well as we're doing Halo 5 as well right now to finish the month of December. And of course, there's any other content, including hockey and Fortnite. So, there's a lot of things going on. But yeah. And if you guys can, share the channel too. Every little bit helps. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I really hope you guys did. And I really hope to get more Advance Wars content like this out. I thought this one was definitely one of my more well thought out matches. And I think, in a way, since coming back, I think I've played a little bit better than I have in the past. And hopefully that continues to shine, as I go forward. So we'll see. But for now, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.